love or respect?
Tell me what's respecting when I feel like you ain't got it. Tell me what's Tell me what's respecting why I feel like you ain't got it. Tell me what's respecting what you niggas know about it. I just want respect them in the class with the elites be. When you be consistent, you can make the shit look easy. Tell me what's respecting why I feel like you ain't got it. Tell me what's respecting what you niggas know about it. I just want respect them in the class with the elites be. When you be consistent, you can make the shit look easy. I just wanna be there for my daughter. When my people need me, be there for my partners. When you talk about rappers from the cat, don't mention me, man, I get bothered. No, I fly under the radar, but I'm harder on my bullets.
Welcome back to the Too Stubborn to Fail podcast, where we tell stories about overcoming adversity. I am your host, Darren Perkins, and today we actually got a returning guest. You was on the second episode. Man. I did second. Yeah. So I mean, it's dope to see that both of us still grinding, working on the craft. Without further ado, Troop DZA, we're gonna get into basically the overall outlook of hip hop, and we're gonna talk about Everything Must Go, the new EP that just dropped. Loving that. But first of all, how you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. I feel like I got a second wind again, trying to get back focused and everything. So feels good getting back out there and pushing myself again.
Yeah.
So.
13 years in the game.
Man.
How do you feel?
I feel good, man. It's crazy because it went by so fast, and like I was putting out mixtapes and everything when I was in college, and to go now, it's like that's almost 20 years. Like in a few more years, it'll be 20 years. But it's like I just feel good about what I'm doing, where I'm going with it. Still trying to push myself to be greater in it. So it's a good feeling, man.
What would you think, looking back at when you started? What's like some of the biggest lessons you've learned over this time?
I think the biggest lesson I learned is to continue to have fun. Like, we were just talking about this off camera, but it got to a point last year where I felt like I wasn't having fun with the music. I just felt like it was in a bad place. But I can control what I can do. So one of the main things is just that to continue to have fun, get better. I don't want anybody to hear me 10 years ago and hear me now and be like, this is the same flow. It's the same dude. Like, I don't want that to happen. Like, I want it to be a continuation into something bigger,
Man, when you talk about losing the love a little bit, I kind of felt that a little bit with podcasting. It was starting to feel more like a job than, something that I love to do.
Right.
So I had to get back to like what made it fun and focus on that.
Yeah.
So I definitely get that.
Yeah.
It is important because without the love of it, if you just doing it, you're gonna burn out.
You're gonna lose yourself, man. You're gonna lose yourself. You're gonna forget like why you even started. And like, man, I've been making music for a long time. Like, I'm 33 right now, but like I started putting out music like on a serious level when I was like 19, 20, like like we just talked about. But I've been making music since I was like 14. So I remember like when I was just having fun, when I just wanted to make something and be like, man, I got a 16 on the song. Like it was
no
fun.
pressure.
It was no pressure. Like it didn't feel anything like it feels right now. But like now it's like you gotta have a product. You gotta do this when you drop the product. You gotta reach out to these people. You gotta reach out to the stations, the DJs. You gotta do interviews. Like it's a process.
It's real work involved.
It is real work, and it takes that, and you have to remain focused a lot of the times. And sometimes it's just easier to just be like, I don't feel like doing it today.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow. Like it's easier to do that. But that's why we gotta grind. That's why you gotta stay focused. So, but yeah, it's been a long time, man.
So like, I know you're talking about falling in and out of love with the craft.
Right.
Year 1 to year 13, what would be the biggest change with Troop as an artist?
My ability to write songs. I feel like when I started, I was bar heavy. Like I knew how to write a lot of bars. This was back when you had to have like 3 verses, and that's something that changed too. Like over time, like I went from having to write 3 verses to 2 to now you barely getting 1.5 verses because the attention span is like it's like 2 minutes. We on to the next thing.
Man, that kills me. Like when you look back in the old, and not to say that songs got to go back to being 5 and 10 minutes, because that's not our era. But we do come from an era of a nice 3-minute song.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
And that's over with.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But like, now 3 minutes is way too long. Like you gotta be able to go in and have a song. Like sometimes when I hear people that got 3 verses, I'm like, man,
I appreciate you.
Yeah, it's like you really gave a 3rd verse. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
But it's like also now it's like used to you would have your first verse, which is like to get people into the song. The 2nd verse will be hard. The 3rd verse will be hard. Now it's like you gotta, if you write 3 verses, now you gotta pick the best 2 for the song. Now the people might not hear the full product like that you want them to hear. So it's just the adjustments, man. And if you don't adjust, you're gonna be a dinosaur, man. People gonna just leave you, man. In music, they adjust fast. Like it's like if you don't catch on, it's like they on to the next.
Man, that's a perfect segue into what we kind of been hitting at, but the state of hip hop, in your opinion, and how with everything, all the music that we heard last year, everything that we saw pushed out there. And for Michael, which is Killer Mike's album, to win Album of the Year. What are your thoughts on that? Shout out to that album.
For real. Man, when you look at the category that everybody was, that people was upset about, when you look at the albums, if you really listen to each album had different vibes, of course. But a lot of the albums didn't tell a story. Like it was... Killer Mike's album was about, he's talking about a lot of things that happened to him in Atlanta. You got songs like Slumber Love, and Slumber Love is a good one to me because he's talking about this girl he met. She got pregnant, she didn't keep it and he didn't know about it, but he was excited. He's telling his whole story about everything. And each song had different things, like the Dave Chappelle skit, the Something for Junkies with Fabo, like and the Motherless song, like when he talking about, his mama dead and his grandma dead. Like he had a whole story for everything, and it flowed. I just feel like people forgot how to make albums, and when it was one person that knew how to make an album, and like not a playlist but an album,
right,
and he put it together, he had the right people on it. I mean, you can't deny it. Like you can't just be like, oh, Drake and 21 deserve to have it because they had better vibes.
Nah,
it
really felt like an instant classic, to be honest. And the sad part about it is, like, I didn't listen to it until after it won. But I got it as soon as I listened to it.
Better late than never.
Yeah. So it's really about being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
When you good work speaks for itself. You can't deny it. No matter when you hear something, it's like you just got to give it props.
Yeah, and I think in hip hop, people put an age limit. Like Killer Mike, 40. I'm gonna tell you, I first heard Killer Mike when I was in the 4th grade on the OutKast. And he was like, he was on The Whole World, and he was on the Stank On the album. So he been around for a while. A long time. So it's like Stank On came out in 2000. So it's like to have this man continuing to go, and then now they like, oh, he don't deserve it. Man, what?
He been working longer than people been alive.
Yeah. And it's like, and a lot of the people that's come in, they weren't alive when he started. So it's
and probably didn't even hit the album.
No. It's people out here that are like super fans, and that's cool. But when we talking about good product and what what we want rap to represent, then you gotta start rewarding the dope product so people can start to strive to be like, okay, I like what he did with that album. Not necessarily biting it, but to say I like what he did with that album. I'm gonna take a few pieces of that. I'm gonna make my own album.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take pieces of this, the Miseducation, and mix it together because that's how people make albums. You know, like what's that album J. Cole got? Born Sinner.
Yeah.
Born Sinner is just the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill from J. Cole's perspective. Like it got the same type of skits. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's how people make albums, and that's how people, you know, he wanted that to be that, and I feel like we got away from making just good albums. Like nobody, it's just singles now. Like nobody got anything to talk about.
And I noticed that you hinted at that's what last year was about.
Yeah.
And it kind of made you kind of fall back from the craft a little bit.
For sure. I'm one of those guys that I can adapt with the music, and I love the music, and I've seen the music in different stages while I've been in it and while I've been a fan. So it's like I've seen, you know, we just talked about the 3 verses, the people when they was lyrical but they still made songs to the point where it was like people try to be minimalist, like the Kanye Yeezy album, and then that sound kind of took over afterwards. And then it's like certain things with Travis Scott, he did his thing, you know, and then it's like I've seen all of these different styles and everything that came in, but last year it was just to a point where it was like nothing was unique. It was no type of styles. It was nobody that I heard or no albums that I heard that made me feel like, man, we in the right direction. Like it felt like the whole year was a clown show. Like and like seriously, it was just like, all right, if this is what it's gonna be, hopefully it has to be better next year. And you know, like when you can sit back and say stuff like that and not make a product or not make a song, and then it's like when you start talking about it, people are gonna be like, well, you ain't making no music, you ain't doing nothing, you know. So it's like the first thing I want to do is like get an EP out, get another EP out, because I'm gonna have another one coming soon, and it's like just to continue to drop music and push videos and push what I can in the crowd for, because I can control that.
Yeah,
you know. So it's like, all right, let me try to do this and see what I can do with it. But as far as hip hop overall, it was bad.
How did that compare to the mumble rap era for you?
Man, you know what's crazy? Okay, the mumble rap era was bad, but we got certain people from that era who weren't necessarily mumble rappers, and
they were just following the way.
You know, so like, okay, the Migos were considered mumble rappers, but they're not.
I couldn't stand them when they first came out.
Versace, like it was like, yeah, that was bad, but then they found their wave. So then it's like, I feel like they put Lil Uzi in there, and I'm still not I'm not like the biggest Uzi fan, because that's just not what I listen to.
Right.
Like I respect what he does, but I don't really listen to the music like that. But it's like that came from that era, so it's like certain things, but like this situation that we in right now, I don't think it's gonna be nobody in 5 to 6 years that we're gonna look back and say, you know, I remember this song came out in 2022 or 2023 as far as rap goes. Like, we not going to have those Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole moments where it was like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Wale, Big Sean, all of them was going at the same time.
Yeah.
And we can look back and be like, okay, this happened during this time, or, you know, the Migos was dropping whatever. They started with this song and then they went into this era. So it's like, you know, I don't feel like we're going to see that with this version of hip-hop that we got. Like, it's a lot of songs that's here today and gone tomorrow. Like, you don't feel nothing.
Yeah.
So
that's the big difference for you.
I hate it. I hate it, man.
Speaking of songs, if no one has ever heard of Troop DZA, what would be that one song that you would recommend them to throw the tape on?
Man, out of all of them,
you had one shot.
Man. Probably if I could get them, I mean, it just depends, because people got different flavors. But okay, if it's like the first time and I just got to introduce them, I'm gonna play No Pressure. And because I feel like No Pressure was kind of the song that put me in a good position as far as like people having eyes on me.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I did a lot of mixtape songs that they didn't do anything. So I would say No Pressure or no. Okay, I'm gonna take No Pressure back. It's a song on DZA season 3 called The Interlude. I'm gonna play that song because it's bars on it, but it's me talking about myself and really explaining different things and how I view. So I'll probably play the interlude.
Okay, interlude. That's dope. Yeah, I heard that. So if this your first time tuning in and hearing, go ahead and listen to the interlude on DZA season 3.
Definitely. Number 6.
Yes, sir. Number 6.
Definitely.
Man, this is a dope conversation. Actually, we're gonna take a quick break, but when we come back, I added a new segment to the show called This or That. And I'll tell you about that when we get back after a word from our sponsors.
OutKast Mounts. For all your TV mounting and assembly needs, the Upstate's #1 mounting company with over 4,000 TVs installed. Clean, precise, and affordable. The OutKast Mounts TV Mounting Company. Contact us today for an online or over the phone quote.
Welcome back to Too Stubborn to Fail podcast, where we tell stories about overcoming adversity. I am your host, Darren Perkins, and we got Troop DZA in the building. Before we went to break, I told you about a new segment that I wanted to start called This or That.
Right.
Now, basically, I give you 2 words, you pick one of the 2 words, and then you explain why, the choice. Real simple. So, for first round, love or respect?
Love. Excuse me, because, respect is a big thing to me, but respect is so fickle. Like, people can, not respect you out of something that they heard, but if you got people that really love you, man, it take a lot. You got to mess up as a person real bad for the people that really love you, not to be there for you no more. So I feel like that'll take you way longer than respect. You'll get respect just because people love you. Right.
Independent or major?
Independent. If we're talking about music, okay. Yeah, independent. All right, so this is something that I feel now, we're just talking about it, people growing as artists. If you join a major, they can put funds behind you as a business. So they can do this. And also, if you fail, you can be a tax write-off, so they don't really care.
Right.
But if you continue to make yourself, known and get fans and, become a good investment for them, now you own. If you're independent, you put up a lot of your money, but you got a lot more control.
Right.
You can actually make money off of your image versus if you were a major, Sony signed you, now they own the rights to the images of Troop DZA. Now they can do whatever they want. If it's something on the internet that they don't like, they can take it down in 2 seconds. So, but I say that to say, being independent, you just got more control, and I want that.
I like that. That. Loyalty or consistency?
Consistency. Again, consistency will bring loyalty. If somebody know you good for something, they just be like, oh, you good, ain't you? But if you just not a consistent person, you just, man, he dropped every 6 years, then they not gonna be loyal to your music because you not being consistent. You're not even somebody that they want to listen to. So I say consistency.
Okay. You kind of answered one of them, so I'm going to skip that one. But I think this last one a good one, though. Clout or impact?
Impact. Man, people do stuff for clout that it's like, why are you doing this? You know what I mean? But I feel like if you got a good impact, as far as whatever field you're in, man, that go a long way than the clout, man. the clout can just get you like a viral moment or something like that. But you might not make no money off of that. You know, like if you just the best in your area doing whatever you doing, people consistently coming to you, you making that impact to your community, then you know that go a long way. Because clout ain't nothing.
I love it. Yeah. So we got to get into this EP, man.
Yeah.
Everything Must Go. I know you said you heard a lot of garbage last year. It kind of made you fall back, but it also made you work and put out your own.
Right.
So tell me kind of what went into making Everything Must Go.
So making Everything Must Go is like, it was a few songs that I had been working on for a while. And like I had a conversation with one of my partners, Mo. Shout out to Mo in Granville, man. But I had a conversation with him, and he was just like, man, you gotta just put this music out. Because like me, I had been letting certain people hear it, and I'm like, when this drop, you know, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. But it was like I was unmotivated to drop any of it because of what I was hearing, you know. But and even the title, Everything Must Go, is just about that clearance. It's like I got more songs and I want to do Everything Must Go too, but it's like I want to get rid of all this. You know, I want to put this out there. I want to whatever I'm gonna do with the videos. I want to do that. I want to do everything that I can with the music, push it. You know, but Everything Must Go is just about that clean slate. Like, let's get this out of here to make way for the new wave that's about to come. You know, so, and Everything Must Go. Like, I dropped it in January or, you know, toward the end of January. So it's like, I want to put something out after we had that wave of garbage that we had. You know, so it's like the usher in this new wave. Because I do feel like we can only go up. And I feel like, you know, people going to put out solid albums again or solid EPs. And if I just got to make my part. So that's what I wanted to do with that.
I like it. An honorable mention to Respect, All I Know, and Big Mood. Like them been on repeat for the past 2-3 weeks.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
Them was hard. And I know you mentioned when we even talked about getting you back on the show that this probably one of your favorite projects.
Yeah. Because, like, it was different vibes. Like, all of them, how do I want to say this? I like making good albums, or I like to listen to good albums. The challenge with making an EP is either you going to put 5 songs together that's going to make them want more, or it's going to be 5 songs where they feel like none of these songs fit. Or you can make 5 songs that got the feel of an album. Like, you can come out with Respect, that statement. Then you got All I Know, which is that banger. Big Mood is like that second thing. Big Mood is like, I feel like that's just that confidence anthem. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really feel like an anthem. You know, and then Switch Up and the other song, Play Me, to actually take it out. So it's like, you just got to have something that flowed. But to me, I felt like all 5 of them were songs. You know, it's not like all 5 and then you got 1 of them that's just straight bars for 2 minutes. Because rappers do that. Like, they'll give you a song that's straight bars for 2.5 minutes, and it's like, man, what a hook.
Right.
Like, you know, like I want to hear something that feel good. You know, so, and that was one of my main focuses, is like blurring that line between having a dope verse, having a dope hook, all of that just to gel good. You know, so like, it's like that was one of my main things. It's like, I want to make that happen, and I feel like I did, you know. But I feel like the next one gonna be better. So.
Right. Well, I can say you did your thing with that one. It's
appreciate it.
One of my favorite pieces of work from you, and I got to keep it in rotation.
I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. So I remember not too long ago, may not have been last year, but you visited the dungeon.
Yeah.
How was that?
Man, that was crazy. Okay, so the dungeon in Atlanta, you know, that's where OutKast used to go and record. That's where Rico Wade, his family stayed, and they used to be there. But it's like, man, you can go there And it's like, to me, it's like a hip hop museum. Like, it's just, you
Like
can
a
just,
mecca.
it really is. You know, like, so you can record there, and they have albums there that they actually listen to. Like, man, they had like the single vinyl for it's a real Atlanta song. At night I think of you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay. So they was signed to So Def. I forget, it's a DJ, but he was signed to So Def. He had that song. They had the vinyl of it, and you know, on the cover you could see the label where it was like $4.99. It's like, man, these people was getting vinyls in 1994 for like $4.99. Like, so it's like, to see all this stuff and being able to record there, and then you can go in the basement and see where OutKast signed it in 1995. So, yeah, it's like OutKast was here in 95, and it would say Big Boy over here, or like 3 Stats over here. Like, you know, like you can see CeeLo name up there and everything. And it's like, man, this is crazy. Because it's like they were really friends. They were really down here recording. They really used to do all this stuff. And it's like, when you there, I filmed the video there too. But it's like, when you there, it's just a moment. It feels surreal.
Man,
For real.
that's dope. Would you recommend any artist to at least make one trip there?
For sure. I would definitely recommend it. Like I said, you got record players, you can play the music down there. They got a studio there you can record. You know, like, it's a moment. It's a vibe. When you in the bathroom, it's like small details too. So, you know, like Waffle House is big in Atlanta, and it's like, when you in the bathroom, they got wallpaper on the wall, and it's the street that said Headland and Delow. And then, like, if you listen to OutKast, 3 Stacks got the song where he be like, on Headland and Delow was the start of something good. Me and my homie rode the MARTA through the hood. And if you go to Headland and Delow, you see the MARTA station and everything is still there. It's like, man, this is crazy.
It's real.
It's real. Like, I heard the song almost 30 years now.
It didn't mean nothing to you.
It didn't mean nothing. But it's like, you go there and you see the Headland and Delow signs, or you see just certain things in there that represent OutKast, or it represent Atlanta, and it's really Atlanta.
That's dope. Do that make you want to do something similar back home?
Yeah, for sure. Like, it does. Like, but I'm gonna tell you, back home is like, it's the followers mentality. So it's like you gotta go outside to make yourself pop before they even look at it back home.
Yeah.
And then back home, you might be able to be like, yeah, we got this spot, or rapping about certain spots, you know, or just rapping about certain things in South Carolina, period, that we know about. So it's like, when people hear it, it's like, oh, I know what he's talking about. But the other people, they just rapping it. You know, they just like, man, this song dope. You know, they don't really know what's going on, but I do want to do that. Because I feel like that goes a long way. That gives your music character. You know what I'm saying? When people be like, damn, that was real. Like Jay-Z been talking about Tata for 30 or 40 years. We probably seen Tata twice. But every time I see him, I'll be like, yo, this is a dude that Jay-Z talk about all the time. You know, so it's like, you know, you got to put that in your music, sprinkle real things in there. So, yeah, definitely make me want to do that.
Yeah, that would be hard. We got an amazing show going, and we got to pay some more bills. So when we get back from these advertisements.
When I took that walk with God, man, I shook them devils up. Niggas really junkies, don't nobody wanna be you. Bitch, I'm David Ruffin, don't nobody wanna see you. Fighting out temptations, fuck them pills, them shit is basic. Y'all okay with getting by, man, I'm trying to be the greatest. We are not the same, so don't you dare try to compare me. Working every day, I peep to see these niggas lazy. Dropping every quarter, change the flow up every 15. Consistent as LeBron, at first they love me, then they hate me. Can't let it phase me.
Welcome back to the Two Stepping to Fail podcast, where we tell stories about overcoming adversity. Today, we got Troop DZA in the building.
Yes, sir.
Troop, it's just been a dope conversation as always, man. And it never really feels like an interview. It's crazy to think that you was my second episode.
Man.
And I don't even know what number this is, but we far from that.
Yeah, yeah. You, man. This one thing about you, like, you been going, like, going, like, And that's, we was just talking about the consistency, man. Like, this years later, and you in a different location and you still going, man. So I salute that, man.
I appreciate that. So I asked you this before, but that was 2 years ago. So I know you got something new. When you hear the words, not even when you hear the words "too stubborn to fail," I like to ask people for a "too stubborn to fail" moment. Basically, a moment where they had to overcome adversity, and make it to the other side. Do you have any new moments to talk about from that perspective?
Like music or just overall?
Just overall, or music, whichever one come to mind.
I'll give you two. So I'll give you one, music and like just overall. Like, like outside of music, you got to have a career. And I work for the city of Greenville, right? And I'm in the IT department. And it's some things that I've seen while I've been there that's kind of had me like, man, I didn't know people would look at me like this, or certain things happen. And I'm not even gonna get too detailed on camera because I don't know who
Watch.
But it was just one of those moments where I was like, I had to make a decision because it's like I like where I work, I like the people, so it's like you got to make a decision to keep yourself going forward and to keep pushing yourself and to like see yourself being in a better position than what you currently are. Because I was trying to help somebody, he said some words, and I felt like nobody really had my back. So it's like, if nobody else got my back, I'm gonna have my back myself. So like that was something that it took a lot of me. Like I had to really figure out like, okay, if this is what I want to do and this is gonna put me to this, I need to stick with it. So I had to overcome that. As far as music goes, I feel like it's a lot of adversity that we face. Like we don't get paid from streaming and stuff like that. So it's like different ways that you got to learn how to make money outside of, hey, go listen to my music on Apple or Spotify or Tidal, or just telling people to do that because you're not really making money off of that.
And I didn't even know that. I didn't know y'all weren't making nothing off of it.
Nah, you okay, so let me back up. So you making .003 per stream. Nothing. So you making nothing, man. So it's like, like you got people that be like, man, I got a million streams and it's probably like $300 or $400.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
You can't feed your family with that.
But it's all about the perception of, I got this many spins or I got this many monthly listeners, and none of that holds weight to anything. Like you can't make money off of it. So it's like you gotta learn how to finesse and how to make money other ways. With sync, I had to. I think I talked to you about this last time. Maybe I didn't, about the whole ESPN thing, and it was like, to get yourself in a position to where you own your music, and other companies want to reach out to you. You got to know the paperwork, and if nobody's teaching you that, you got to go learn that yourself. You just can't be like, well, I'm gonna get somebody to help me, because they might take a certain percentage and they might take way more than what they actually entitled to.
Right.
So it's like you gotta learn, to me, I felt like I had to learn and I had to put myself in a better position, but it's all about just trying to get to that next level. Like that in music is a everyday adversity, because it's like, do you want to do it to make money or to make merch or to get paid off of this, or do you want to do it for smoke and mirrors?
Right.
Like, do you want to be like, I got 1 million monthly listeners, but you ain't got $100,000?
What does that really mean?
Nothing. It means nothing, but you can play the game. So it's like that's where it comes to people like, I don't even want to say a clout rapper, but it's like you got a clout rapper versus a J. Cole. J. Cole and Kendrick figured it out. Big Sean figured it out. Wale figured it out. But everybody else still playing games. So it's like, you got to choose which one you want to do.
Man. And that goes back to when we played the this or that with the clout and impact.
Yeah. Exactly, man. Like, if you make an impact, you can be around for a long time. I feel like Kendrick is one of my favorite rappers, and I've never been to California. I know nothing about his culture, but I saw Kendrick live, and Kendrick felt like a dude I knew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he just felt like a real like a real black dude.
Man, that Good Kid, Mad City.
You know?
Instant classic.
Classic, man.
You can listen to it today from one to done.
Man. First album.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, I appreciate that, and it's like I want to make something as good as that, even if it take me 10 years from now, man, or if it take me 2 years from now. I want to make something that's on that national scale of people saying this is a good product.
Mm-hmm.
This. I put this album, man. I remember where I was when I heard this album.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, you know, like that's what I wanted to get to, and I feel like I haven't got there yet, but. That's that 2 step in the fail. You know, like, you got to keep going. You got to keep going for real.
True. This has been a dope conversation. Before we get out of here, where can the people follow you? How can they stream the music? How can they buy the merch? Just let them know.
Yeah, so you can follow me at TroopSC on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, which... I'm on Facebook, but not as much as I used to be. It's Troop DZA. Twitter or X is TroopSC, you know. So, and on the digital service, well, the music platforms, Tidal, Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, whatever you use, you can find me as Troop DZA, DZA. So, yeah, man.
All right. So before we get out of here, you have any closing remarks, words of wisdom you want to leave with the audience today?
Just keep going. I feel like that's so cliche to say, but and it's probably, you know, you probably heard people say this already, man, but keep going. Go for your goals. It's way too many people out here who don't go for anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easier to tweet and talk about people, or get on Facebook or Instagram and talk about people who are actually doing something and putting something into the world. Like this episode, you're going to put this into the world and have people commenting on it, but it's easy to do that. But it's hard to go after your goals. Mm-hmm. It's hard to remain focused in this world as everything is pulling you away from what you're really paying attention to. So, yeah, just keep going and staying focused. Like that grind state.
Man.
Keep going.
I love it. I love it. True. It's always a classic when you get in the studio. I look forward to you coming back when you drop the next project. You always welcome in my platform. That's been another amazing episode of the Too Stubborn to Fail podcast. We had Troop DZA in the building today for the second time. Not the last time.
For sure.
We are tuning out.
Off-white shades, just a big move. It's a big move. Off-white shades, this a big move. Rest in peace to Virgil, this a big move. Baccarat cologne, this a big move. Only answer my phone if it's a big move. Off-white shades, this a big move. Rest in peace to Virgil, this a big move. Baccarat cologne, this a big move. Only answer my phone if it's a big move. Get money, nigga, that's my MO. Good karma coming back to me tenfold. I remember I was broken, got repo. Ain't evicted now, buy whatever I want. Making money off the placements on my iPhone. From the songs and the notes in my iPhone. I'm the type that know I got it and I won't brag. Know these other niggas dummies, so they gon' crash. I be really getting to it, staying out the way. But I think it's time for me to put it in their face. Newton on the rise and I'm done talking. Know if this is on the